SANDHAN. All Gujarat integrated classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello, my topic is LEECH, Digestive and Reproductive System. But I am talking about morphology and general characters also is important for the LEECH, and that's why general characters. Hirudinea comprises leeches which occur more in tropical regions than temperate region. Leeches inhabit a wide variety of habitations ranging from freshwater, marine and terrestrial ecosystem. About 300 species of Hirudinea abound worldwide, and they vary in length between 2 and 30 centimeter. The most specialized annelids, which are advanced in form than olichaetes, because there are polychaeta, olichaete and Hirudinea. This Hirudinea class is very important, and they have lost their parapodia, false feet and setae. The general characters of the swimming by the vertical undulations or loops by the using its sucker to grip surfaces, and they exhibit variation in patterns and colors because the differ color is also there, and they are dorso-ventrally flattened. Most leeches are ectoparasites because they are based on the food is blood, that is why, and the hematophagous and sanguivorous. Some are predaceous, which suckers for anhorage, and the gut is adapted for storage of large quantities of blood because the leech have a blood is very important and important for the 5-star food for leech. Mouth opens at the base of the anterior sucker, has 3 half-moon shaped jaws. This is a slide showing the anterior sucker, showing the 3 jaws, giving a red arrow. I am also discussing about the general characteristics also leech. Leeches lack distinct coelomic compartments. In some species, the septa have disappeared, and the coelomic cavity is filled with connective tissue and a system of space called lacunae, because there is some space is also there and called as a lacunae. The coelomic lacunae form a regular system of channels filled with coelomic fluid, serving as an auxiliary circulatory system, and there are hermaphroditic, possessing temporary clitellum only during the breeding season. Then the clitellum secretes cocoon for purpose of reception and storage of eggs only in breeding system. Now I am talking about the ecology of Hirudinea. There are 700 species of leeches are currently recognized. 100 are marine, 90 terrestrial, and the remainder is present in the fresh water. The Indian cattle leech, that is Hirudo granulosus, lives in ponds, lakes, swamps and slow moving streams. Hirudo medicinalis lives mainly in stagnant water of marshes and ponds with a muddy substrate. એટલે કેટલીક ફિશ કેટલીક લીચ જે છે તે આપણને ફ્રેશ વોટર અને સ્થાયી વોટરમાં પણ પાણીમાં પણ જોવા મળતી હોય છે. They prefer muddy freshwater pools and ditches with large weed growth in the temperate. Eggs are laid outside water during spring and summer months. Continue ecology of Hirudinea. Hirudo medicinalis requires relative warm water, that is 19 to 23 degrees centigrade, in which to feed and breed. Egg cocoons are laid on marginal plants and they feed on the blood of vertebrates, and it is thought that mammalian or possibly avian blood is required to enable successful breeding. When the animal is stretched, in the figure just look like is a dorsally ventrally flattened when the animal is stretched, and the eyes is anterior part and the anus is the posterior part, and the segment known as the annulus, and the posterior sucker is also there, and that's why leech look like is as a giving in a slides. Now I am going towards the morphology, shape and size. Soft vermiform, just look like as a worm, that's why elongated and dorsally ventrally flattened body. Application by પૃષ્ઠવક્ષ બાજુએ ચપટા હોય છે. Size ranges from 2 to 35 centimeter depending on diet and species. The skin is always moistured with mucus and fluid thereby aiding cutaneous respiration from the skin, and the body form is narrowest at the anterior and broadened at the posterior end according to this slide. That is why they exhibit alternation in shape and proportion by being ribbon shaped when extended and cylindrical when contracted. This figure giving the ideas about the digestive systems. The anterior part known as pre-oral chamber, the Y shape that known as velum, and from the mouth, in mouth the velum is present, and there is 3 jaws, and the pharynx, then oesophagus, then different types of crops is also present, and after the 19 segments the rest of the parts of digestive systems, and last and far rectum and anus is present. The buccal cavity containing the jaws is separated from the sucker cavity by the low fold velum, and velum is present in a mouth region. During feeding, the velum retracts backward to allow the jaws to be pushed forward into the sucker cavity to ensure adherence with horse skin. એટલે કેટલાક પ્રાણીમાંથી લોહી ખેંચવું હોય તો પોતાનો એ ભાગ બહાર કાઢે અને બ્લડ શકર્સથી ખેંચતું હોય છે. Each jaw is a muscular ridge shaped like a half circular saw, એટલે કરવત જેવું, and one median and 2 ventrolateral. Jaws are covered by cuticle and along the edge form a row of minute teeth. એટલે દાંત એટલા મહત્ત્વના ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે માઇન્યુટ કે જેને કારણે બ્લડ શક થતું હોય. During incision, muscles holding the jaw rock them so that the teeth moves with a sawing action. દર કરવત જેવી એ ક્રિયા કરે છે. This result in a Y-shaped incision. According to this figure, just look like so Y જેવું આપણને દેખાતો. Velum, jaws, sub-oesophageal ganglion is also important, but I am not talking about the nervous system of the leech. This is a ventral dissection of mouth showing jaws in a biting position. This is a ventral view of the anterior section showing the oral anatomy, and the mouth, then the head suckers, the 3 jaws is ridges and teeth are minute teeth also is present on the figure. Later part is the salivary ducts and pharynx. Nerve is also important for the sensation of the blood. Each jaw is a muscular ridge shaped like a half circular saw, 1 median and 2 ventrolateral. Jaws are covered by and cuticle along the edges forms a row of minute teeth. Now I move towards the alimentary canal. The esophagus, એટલે કે આપણે જેને અન્ન નળી કહીએ છીએ, a narrow tube behind the pharynx conveys the blood into the crop. Crop એટલે કે ખાડા જેવી જગ્યા હોય જ્યાં બ્લડ ભરાતું હોય. The crop is the largest part of the leech alimentary canal, and it is adapted for storage of considerable volume of blood. To ensure storage, it is lined with 11 pairs of diverticula, 1 pair each on segment 8th to 18th. 8, 9, 10th, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 18. That's 11. The last pair runs back to the hind end of the body. In segment number 18th, the crop terminates into a narrower pore, છિદ્ર જેવું હોય, leading to the intestine, and the intestine is thin walled, ખૂબ જ પાતળી દિવાલ ધરાવતું હોય, but slightly swollen, થોડું ફૂલેલું હોય, look like as a heart shape, હૃદય જેવું હોય, and at segment number 21st and runs backward between the last pair of the crop diverticula, segment number 23, and leads to the rectum, that's the last part of the alimentary canal. In this figure, the anterior part that known as anterior sucker is also there, and mouth is known as proboscis. There is a different type of nephrodophore is important for the excretion purpose. Sense organ is related for the nervous system. Salivary gland is also there. This internal idea about the digestive and reproductive system present in the figure, and testes and ovaries also, but I am talking after complete the digestive system. Now the digestion is very important for this animal. Numerous unicellular salivary glands open into the jaws and they secrete anticoagulant. એન્ટીકોગ્યુલન્ટને લીધે જ રુધિર કોઈ પણ સામેના પ્રાણીનું જમતું નથી. નહીં તો શું થાય કે રુધિર તો જામી જાય. આમ વિચારો કે બ્લડ નીકળતું હોય ને ઇન કોન્ટેક્ટ વિથ એર તો જામી જાય, પણ લીચ એટલી ઉસ્તાદ છે કે મનુષ્યનું કે કોઈ પણ પ્રાણી રુધિર જમવા દેતું નથી, કારણ કે એની પાસે એન્ટીકોગ્યુલન્ટ અવેલેબલ છે. દેટ ઇઝ વાય જેવું મહત્ત્વનું છે. ડાયજેશનની અંદર આગળ the anticoagulant prevents the clotting of host blood resulting from the wound, and the blood is sucked into the alimentary canal by the pumping action of the pharynx 5 mm oval sac. At rest, pharynx wall are deeply folded but dilated by radial muscles during feeding, running out to the body wall, and the space between the radial muscles is completely filled with the salivary gland cells. salivary gland ને લીધે શું ફાયદો થાય છે કે જેને કારણે બ્લડ પરફેક્ટ મળે અને બ્લડ થોડું પાતળું થતું હોય છે, એટલે લીચને સકિંગ કરવામાં મોટો ફાયદો થતો હોય છે. દેટ ઇઝ વાય. Then continue. Nutrition in leeches is of interest of several reasons. Typical leeches are blood-sucking ectoparasites, and they are remarkably adept at removing from the host a very considerable quantity of blood without being noticed. The requires sharp, precise cutting equipment, ખૂબ જ અણીદાર ધાર જેવું એમ. The assistance of a local anesthetic, કે એ એનેસ્થેટિક જેવું પેશન્ટને કે પેલા પ્રાણીને આપી દે અને એનું બ્લડ ખેંચી લે, એટલે પ્રાણીને બહુ જલ્દી ખબર પડતી નથી. The blood must be prevented from clotting in the gut, for during locomotion the leech becomes alternately short and thick and long and thin. Very important, short and thick and long and thin. The word is very differ. ટૂંકું છે પણ જાડું છે અને લાંબુ છે પણ પાતળું છે. This is very important, and this would be impossible if the gut contained a mass of clotted blood. Finally, a series of investigators failed to identify any proteolytic enzymes. Proteolytic enzyme means related to protein molecules in the gut of Hirudo, and it appears that the function of digestion has been taken over entirely by symbiotic bacteria. Bacteria is also important here. Digestion continue. An extract of the head of Hirudo contains a powerful anticoagulant, hirudin. This word is hirudin is important. That's why the hirudinia and hirudo, which makes the wounded made by a leech bleeds over time. However, the scientist Mr. Linnemann 1939 found that leech had extract also contain a histamine. Histamine is an anti-allergic part, like substance capable of causing the dilation of capillaries, and he postulated that this was the substance actually injected into the wound, and that the free flow of blood was due to the enlargement of blood vessels rather than the inhibition of clotting. Inhibition એટલે અટકાવવું. કોઈ પણ બ્લડને જમવા દેતું જ નથી, જેને કારણે એનું જે ગટ રિજિયન હોય એટલે પાચનનો ભાગ કમ્પ્લીટ બ્લડ એને મેળવી લે. એને બ્લડ મળી જાય એટલે ખુશખુશાલ થઈ જાય. લીચને તો બહુ મજા આવી જતી હોય છે આમાં. એમ કન્ટિન્યુ. And the act of biting and secretion of salivary glands is divisible into the two phases, the biting phase and the sucking phase. પહેલાં કાપવું અને પછી ચૂસવું, એમ બે મુદ્દા મહત્ત્વના છે. Hirudin is an hydrolyzing protein product with empirical formula is of C30H60 O20 and N8 and a molecular weight of 852. It probably acts by inhibiting the enzyme thrombokinase because thrombin is important for the blood. Only 0 to 8 milligram is required to prevent indefinitely the coagulation of 5 ml of rabbit blood. Leech takes a meal of blood every 6 months because digestion is slow. લીચને 6 મહિના સુધી વાંધો ન આવે ને આપણને 2 કલાક તકલીફ પડે, એવું છે આ બધું. હા. Energy consumption is at 15 calorie per day at 18 degree centigrade. During starvation, જ્યારે ભૂખમરો હોય ત્યારે the leech utilized the stored carbohydrates and fats, thereby dropping its energy consumption to about 7 calorie per day. અને આપણે ત્યાં ભૂખમરો હોય તો બાજુમાં લૂંટફાટ પણ થઈ શકે છે, કાળજી રાખવી. When a meal of blood has been sucked into the crop, it first thickens and water being abstracted and passed out via the nephridia together with considerable quantities of the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride થી clotting થતું નથી એટલે નાખવામાં આવે હોય છે ત્યાં. The hemoglobin soon becomes deoxygenated but the erythrocyte RBCs remain intact for a very long time, free from purification. Pseudomonas hirudinea